Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Saturday ILCA overview and public crypto talk. My name is your Queen Connectress, Miss Marnita Casa, and I will be your humble hostess for today. Now, there is something that I always like to say, and that is we totally understand there are so many different things you can be doing with your time. My goodness, it's a beautiful Saturday morning. So the fact that you guys decided to come on out and hear what we have to say, please believe that makes us so very happy. So again, thank each and every one of you for being here. And we are rocking it. We just got done with our ILCA 5-day challenge. We actually have Monday. We have our Monday night recap call coming up. But man, every single month, every time we have a new 5-day challenge, not only do I learn more, but I have so many aha moments. Let me tell you guys something. I have been a student of our educator. It'll be 6 years in October. My goodness. It'll be 6 years in October. And there are some things that he has said over and over again to me that just did not click because I wasn't ready. But because I stayed vigilant, because I stuck to it and I continued to learn, just recently, a lot of that stuff is now clicking for me. And not only is it clicking for me, but it's making so much sense that now I can be able to take action on things that I learned 2 and 3 years ago. So when I say stick to it, this is absolutely where you want to be. I truly, truly mean that. And it's not just me. It's all of these beautiful people here on the Zoom call with us right now. Hello, my babies. How are you? Thank you guys so very much for not only being here, but coming with such a positive energy. Believe, Brandon and I can absolutely feel that. Now, you guys know the routine as you come on in. Type your name and where you are from in the chat box. That way I get a chance to tell everybody who is here on the Zoom call with us. And I believe we're streaming on Facebook. So to all my Facebook friends, hello, babies. How are you? Now, you guys should be here on the Zoom call with us. If you are wondering how you do that, all you have to do is go to B as in boy, cryptochallenge.com. And you can be right here on the Zoom side. Again, that's cryptochallenge.com. So you can be right here on the Zoom with each and every one of us. Okay, so let me go ahead and start saying hello, so we can hear what our educator has to say. I'm always super excited to learn something new from him. First up, I see the beautiful Miss Victoria Peterson is here. Hello, Queen. How are you? Thank you so very much for being here. Of course, the beautiful Miss Janelle Appling is coming on in, representing Colorado. Hello, how are you? Of course, Mr. Nathan Hansberger's in the house. Hi, Nathan. He is representing Las Vegas, Nevada, and I want to give Nathan his flowers. He was actually our first ILCA certified student. So, thank you, Nathan, for leading the way. We truly appreciate you. I see Mr. Clairvaux is in the house. Hello, sir. How are you? Thank you so very much for being here, Clairvaux. Yes, sir. You're so very welcome. Clairvaux is representing Connecticut. Thank you so much for being here, sir. Of course, we have Mr. CJ Jackson. Boom, boom, boom. Boom. Giving it up for Arizona. Mr. CJ Jackson is also one of our certified students, but him and Mr. Kenny Taylor represent Los Angeles, California. Those two gentlemen are on our ILCA roundtable. So when I say that they are working hard, even on their off time, to bring you guys more value, we truly, truly mean that. And we truly appreciate both of you gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here. I see Miss Sandy Lynn's in the house. Hello, Miss Lynn. How are you? Thank you so much for being here. Of course, Rita B is here representing San Diego, California. Greetings, Queen. How are you? Miss Rita B is actually our first female certified student, so we always want to give her flowers for that. Mwah. I see we also have Christina is here. Christina, thank you so much for being here with us. And of course, my beautiful friend, her name is Tammy Gully. Thank you so much for that message this morning, Queen. You don't know how much that meant to me. Mwah. I love you. Thank you. All right, babies. So the family is here. Let's go ahead and get this party started. Again, thank each and every one of you for joining us on our ILCA Saturday morning overview and public crypto talk. My name is your Queen Connectress, Miss Marnita Casa, and I am your humble hostess for today. Now, it is my honor to introduce you all to a man that for over 25 years dominated the direct sales industry. His cryptocurrency education is used by companies and universities worldwide. Now, for over 9 years, I do see you, Miss Judy, coming in from Canada. How dare I? We definitely have to give Miss Judy her flowers. She has been here for almost every single session, every single 5 day challenge that we have. She is a wonderful student and we truly appreciate you, baby. So I do apologize for that. Yes, ma'am. So for 9 years, he had dedicated his life to learning about digital finance, but he didn't just stop there. He decided to go out and share his information with the masses. And this was done by putting on fun and exciting Bitcoin boot camps nationwide at no cost. He has built thriving communities and wonderful platforms like you see before you now. So without further ado, it is my honor to introduce you all to Mr. Brandon Ivey.
All right, all right. Thank you for that introduction, Miss Casa. And again, thank you for all of the hard work that you're doing and putting together behind the scenes. If you guys think that she's working hard, you have no idea. It's even more than what you see. And I have to tell Miss Casa, be ready because we're just getting started. It's about to get even more. So if you're ready for that, it's coming. And for those of you who don't know, there's something that she's been working on very hard behind the scenes as well. I mean, take a look at this. From homeless to unstoppable. How you can go from zero to becoming your own hero. So this is going to be coming out soon. Yes, Miss Casa will be published with her own book. I said to her, she's talked about 6 years ago. And one of the things that she asked me is, what is one of the secrets to success in direct selling? What do I need to learn and what do I need to do? And I said, well, there's something you've already done. You just need to learn how to tell it. She said, what is that? I said, your story. Your story. And this goes for all of you. If you want to be successful in anything that has to deal with the direct sales space or marketing or anything, it comes down to your story. Sell your story, sell yourself, not the product. People like to buy, they don't like to be sold. But your story is something that they will buy. So if you get good at sharing your story, you're more than 90% there. Why do you think every big marketing company out there always wants to bring on celebrity endorsements? Because they want to ride off of the celebrities' stories, especially during the Olympics. Why every time there's a national championship, first place they go is to the White House. And then the White House, the politician, carts them out there to ride on their success. So Miss Casa has figured that out finally, and it wasn't overnight. It was years before she said, told her story. I think it was one of the 5 day challenges maybe a year or 2 years ago, where she first shared her story about going from homelessness to where she is now. And this year, I'm already predicting it because I'm seeing it because I have a hand in it. She already got a big raise. This is going to be her biggest financial business year. And if she can do it, so can all of you. So thank you for all that you do, Miss Casa, and congratulations on your success. And I look forward to seeing where this is going to lead to you further going on. So let's go ahead and get started with the rest of you guys. We are streaming live on Facebook. You can share. We just finished our 5 day challenge week. So for Black History Month, this is our second 5 day challenge of 2026. Last night we had Professor Oscar Sistrunk on the line, and you guys were able to see what he talked about, how big tokenization really is and what this is meaning to the world. This is not a fad. This is something that is happening right underneath our feet, whether you like it or not, believe it or not, trust it or not, or even understand it. And that is the goal first, that we must understand. Now, after a 5 day challenge, this is when we always invite you to further your crypto education and knowledge. You got a lot this past week. I mean, there's no way, and I don't care if you're a beginner or an expert, there is absolutely no way you can sit through all 5 days and come out at the end and say, I didn't learn anything new. It's impossible because I still learn new things every 5 day challenge, and we've been doing this for 4 years now. So I hope that you did learn something new and you recognize that, had some aha moments. Even our inner circle members had some aha moments. And then you make the decision to say, you know what, this is not where it ends. But this is where it begins. Now I'm ready to go to the next level. I'm ready to learn more. This is why eState brought me on board for this section to teach more. Those 5 lessons, that's 5 out of more than 200. Think about that. That's 5 lessons out of more than 200 that you have access to in the ILCA community. Not only that, you have access to our membership side. And the membership is where you are now entrenched in our community. One of the things I always tell people is as you begin your crypto journey, or I should say digital journey, and I'm going through a process, and this is not going to be easy. It's going to take me some time. I'm replacing the word crypto with digital because crypto is limiting how big this actually is. It is digital. So as you begin your digital journey, I always say, have a digital buddy. Have a buddy that you can go with along this path at the same time so that you can talk to each other, ask questions, bounce things off of, learn at the same time. The thing about ILCA is that we have an entire community that allows you to do that, and you can pick buddies inside of the community. You can have multiple buddies. I love what Miss Casa is doing with the round table and the book club. So you guys are getting some more interaction even outside of myself, learning from each other. That's what ILCA is. I learn from you guys. I can't tell you how much money I've made off of different tokens and projects that were brought by members of the community that I jumped on board. And so it's not just a one-way street from me to you. It is a circle. It's like the circle of life. It's a circle for all of us. And we want to invite you to do that. And I'm going to do a modified presentation today because last Saturday, Miss Casa broke down in detail what ILCA is all about. So if you are new and you were not here last Saturday, ask for that recording and we will get you the recording to see that in detail because I definitely want to jump on the news today. We woke up to a new world this morning. And before I speak on that, I want to reiterate some simple facts. Jim Rohn says, it's not what happens to you that's important. It's how you handle the things that happen to you that make all the difference in the world. We all have 24 hours in a day. We all have issues and things going on in our lives that nobody else knows about. Just because you see somebody smiling doesn't mean that their entire life is happy-go-lucky. There's things going on that you can't even comprehend, and most people is just so focused on their own issues. But there are things in life that happen that we don't have control over. We may have opinions on it. We may agree with what's going on. We may disagree with what's going on, but you have no power to change it. But you do have the power on how you react to it. So, with that, we have to look at how we woke up to a new world this morning. And those of you in the inner circle should not be surprised because I predicted it. Didn't I say something was going to go down by Friday and after the markets close? And I knew this was going to happen. I've been predicting it for weeks. So we woke up to a new world, and the Middle East is on fire right now. We have Pakistan that declared war on Afghanistan. We have Israel and America that is having open war now with Iran. And what I'm watching is not what we do to Iran. I know what we can do to Iran. What I'm watching is to see how much of a response is Iran able to inflict back and how that is going to impact the economy. If they're able to shut down the Straits of Hormuz, that happens. Watch your oil prices go up to $200 a barrel, $6, $7 per gallon at the pump in a very, very quick succession. Something else too is people were already hurting financially. People are already looking for a way out, especially if you're an American. I'm going to be speaking as an American's perspective. medical prices is high, gas prices high, grocery prices are high. The term affordability is high across the board. And it has nothing, there's no R or D next to your political name. None of that matters at the end of the day. And it's about to get worse this year, especially with this war. We should see on Inner Circle Talk on Monday morning what the markets look like opening up. So, what can we do to protect ourselves? Robert Kiyosaki just had a long, drawn out "I told you so" post this morning that he released because, like me, he this was no surprise to him either. And he said, if you are not positioned to be having a source of income coming in that's recession proof, that is based on real world assets and not strictly fiat money from your job, and you building a savings account, you will be in financial trouble. That is a fact. If you put yourself in a situation where the income you have coming in is going to happen regardless of what's going on around the world and with the economy, now you're protecting yourself and your future finances. So the moves that we've been making with ILCA has always been looking to earn passive income, meaning getting paid for without having to recruit anybody, without having to sell a product, good, or service to people who can't afford it in the first place because it's seen as a luxury and not a necessity. One thing that will always be a necessity is having a roof over your head, having property that you are sitting in. Whether we like it or not, we have to pay to live. So all the land you see out there, all the property you see out there, somebody's paying for it. And that doesn't matter if the economy is good or bad. It must be paid for. What if you position yourself in front of that so that you're actually getting paid from it? Hmm. That is why ILCA signed a strategic partnership with eEstate. And coming up soon, well, not soon, like now, tomorrow I will be having our very first five-figure club meeting. And I don't care if it's only four people. And next week, we will be doing our Blitz starting off the month of March. I'll be doing a presentation every day of the week. Tuesday, I'll be doing two of them at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. This presentation is for those of you in the five-figure club to build from, but it will be open to everybody. Will have an opportunity to plug into it. There's a method to my madness. I didn't get to where I am by osmosis or by luck. This strategic. I have 26 years in this industry. I'm a 7 and 8 figure earner. I have been able to have at least more than $100 million worth of sales, gross sales over the last 10 years. And with this strategic partnership, I have planted my flag on the e-estate side with real estate. Something that Mr. Stevenson said to me yesterday, that they are planning, even when there is right now 12, actually 13 properties under management worth more than $100 million, they're planning on having hundreds of properties around the world in the billions of dollars. Don't you want to ride that train at the beginning? That's where we sit. So first, let me actually show you how to become a part of our community. So let me share screen here. So one, get back with the person who has invited you if you are a guest. They have a referral link. And why is that? That is because I actually have an affiliate program where I'm going to reward you for sharing ILCA to others for those that want to get educated. Anything that they purchase within the ILCA community, you get a percentage. Even if you're not a member, if you just sign up for the 5 day challenge, I'm going to pay you 5% on any commissions that you're able to bring to the table. But it starts with the 5 day challenge. ILCA.app right here, 5 days of digital confidence. Free training with ILCA. All week, you got free training. Yes, Miss Casa.
Okay, I was hoping you saw my hand. All right, just a special announcement, everyone. We have a new website that we would love to direct everybody to. The ILCA.app is just a simple landing page, but we want you to get the full effect of ILCA. So if you go
Ah,
to myilca.com, it'll take you to our website where you have access to more insight on what we have to offer and what all of our memberships and our courses can give for you. Okay, back to you, Mr. Ivy.
well, thank you for that. So I'll start from here. We'll come back to the apply for coaching. Trusted by professionals focused on long-term growth. What we do, myilca.com. You guys like the new look? See, this was designed because I love space, everything about the universe. I do a series called The Secret where I talk about the laws of the universe. And so the marketing team created the site kind of based on that. So first, you're going to get a free ebook called Bitcoin for the Beginners just by registering for the 5 day challenge. You're also going to get access to 10 free courses. You can view our memberships. You can actually, well, let's say this, view our memberships. And this one is very, very important. The inner circle. If you want to be a part of the 5 figure club, you have to at least be in the inner circle. That's one of the criteria. Well, we have to update this because it's $99 a month. But those of you that are in e-estate, we have a special coupon where you're going to be able to get this at a discount. So for the first month, you do get the inner circle for $49, and then it's $99 a month after that. The diamond is $149 a month, and we've eliminated the platinum and we're moved to partnership. So our partner program is $199 a month. And again, Miss Casa went over that in detail last week, in much detail. Well, what about if you want the courses? Like I said, last week, we just did 5 of them. Those courses come from where we already have. Well, if you come through ILCA, you can get all the courses. 13, actually, now it's going to be 14 because I'm releasing courses this weekend, the new stablecoin courses. Regular value is $5,200. You're getting it for $24.99. If you go through one of our partners, because we're also going to be having a link soon that's showing all of our partners. And if you choose one of our partners, you get this at a huge discount at $999 from our partners. Or if you are an e-estate member, we have a coupon code where you get this at half off as well. So you want to be a part of the inner circle. You can also get our bundle packages. If you say, Brandon, I want to do this in pieces. I just again, let me just get the Bitcoin and blockchain education with Bitcoin 101, Crypto Advanced, and how to trade Bitcoin and crypto. You can do that as well and get it in a bundle pack for $750. Or if you use the e-estate coupon, you get that at half off as well. So you want to be a part of the inner circle. And what does the inner circle get? And this one I'm going to jump into because I want to talk about this is daily education. Monday through Thursday, I do something called Crypto Talk, and it is at least 45 minutes to an hour. This is my education time. See, I did not have an ILCA around to teach me about Bitcoin and crypto and blockchain technology. I had to teach myself. And how I taught myself is by doing what I do every morning on Crypto Talk. The people say, Brandon, how do I get to know as much as you do? Join the inner circle. That's how I learn. The inner circle members, you guys see me learning every day. I'm expanding my knowledge. What did Professor Sistrunk say last night? He said, he's almost in his 70s and still learning. That doesn't stop. So I am learning every day. I just turn on the camera and my mic and take you on the journey with me. We cover geopolitics. And you say, well, what does that have to do with the digital space? Everything. Back in the early days, I noticed something that the nerds only read the charts and they were basing all of their trades and moves on what the charts showed and the patterns. Now, while I agree, you do need to be able to read the charts, but you cannot plan out your portfolio based strictly on what the charts is saying. Because I saw that what was going on in the world and politics was impacting the crypto market. It wasn't in the early days because it wasn't big enough yet. But by the time I came on the scene, 2017, 18, and 19, I started to notice patterns outside of the charts. And it allowed me to accurately predict up to a certain point. My predictions are like 75, 80% correct. The things that are incorrect is the timing. Sometimes I get the timing off. But what I predicted always ends up happening anyway, eventually. And sometimes I get it off. Like one of the biggest things I got off last year, I believed that it was going to be CBDCs that was going to be the highlight of the crypto space for 2025 and going into 2026. So I wrote a course on it and I was wrong. It wasn't CBDCs. And if you don't know what that means central bank digital currencies. Not, well, yeah, tokenizing your money. That's what where digital cash, cashless society. That's what I believed. And my research is I still back the research. 98% of every country on the planet has a plan in place for CBDC. But I was wrong. It ended up being stable coins that dominated the space. And really 2026 is going to a whole nother level, which is why I had to write the course on stable coins. No, let me show you guys a sneak peek of something here. Let's see my stable coins. Now let me go to the images. Oh, I did not do that yet. Hmm. Well, I'll show a few just through the courses themselves. So you can see kind of some topics here. I'll just read some of the topics. The first one we just did last night or Thursday night. What are stable coins? What are stable coins? Remember that one? But then here's another topic, one, major types of stable coins. What about this one? And this came up in Inner Circle. Crypto Talk. I asked a question a lot of members didn't know. How stable coins maintain or lose their peg? Why that is so important. Wouldn't you want to know what are the top stable coins for 2026? Hmm. Especially the ones that have to do with yield bearing. Also, let me show two more. I did do this one. Stable coins versus CBDCs. Competition or is it coexistence? What about this is a big one because we're dealing with the Genius Act and the Clarity Act. Global regulation of stable coins. Or this one. People always say about we were asking questions about liquidity. And I think Patty even brought that up last night when we were talking about tokenization, Patty and Kenny. What about how stablecoin reserves work? The liquidity of it. All right, that's enough. That's enough. Giving you guys sneak peeks of what we got. So that's nobody's seen those courses yet. So you guys will be the first. Yeah, my timing was bang on. I told you guys exactly what was going to happen and when. And I said it would happen after the markets close on Friday. So that what the reason why is because the markets are going to react. And we're going to look at that right now. But I just wanted to show what it is to be in a member. And now what we do in Crypto Talk. I'm going to give you a sneak peek. So first thing we do is I look at what's going on in the news. What are the headlines in the world right now? I choose ground news because it brings up the topic and then it shows me which political bias is covering what. Because of social media now, the age of the internet, people are not getting their news from the same sources, which is why facts seem to always be challenged. One person's facts is not another person's facts or alternative facts. You now can look for any news that will give you what you already believe so that you will never be challenging your belief. People love to feel safe. Oh, don't challenge my beliefs. It's blasphemy. So they only go to news sources that's going to reinforce what they believe so that they can feel good about it. It wasn't always like that. The Walter Cronkites back in the day, Barbara Walters and whatnot. But now, you never have to hear the other side if you don't want to. And then you go on social media and you hear somebody saying something that you don't believe and you're looking at them like they're an alien or something. Like, how can you say that? Don't you know what's really going on? No, they're not listening to the news you are. So, ground news shows me the news and who is covering it. So, right now, equal across all the boards. Iran retaliates with attacks on multiple U.S. military bases across the Middle East. Let me ask a question. Has there been any reported American casualties yet? Any reported American casualties? My son and I, we were up late last night, and he's been glued to the TV. And I remember when the Gulf War happened, 1992, I was glued to the TV. In fact, I was what at that time? 16? I think I was 16 at 1992. Yeah, I think I'm about 16 or so. All right, a Supreme Court case over whether marijuana users can own guns is creating unusual alliances. Berkshire Hathaway operating earnings fell nearly 30% in Warren Buffett's final quarter as CEO. Cuba unveils new details in fatal U.S. boat shooting and says a second boat on mission failed. Well, America set a precedent off Venezuela, blowing up boats off the coast, and now other countries are doing it. Trump says he wants freedom for Iranians after strikes. There is so much I want to say about this, but let me stay on task. Emergence of Epstein Island photo leads to new calls for Lutnick to testify. This fool right here should be dragged out of his position. If you're sitting here right now saying, I still support Howard Lutnick, I'm challenging your morality. He has lied under oath. First, he said, I only knew Epstein when I went to his house as a neighbor and we saw some creepy stuff and me and my wife ran out. That was a lie. And when caught in the lie, then he says, well, yeah, I did visit the island. I was on a boat. I was crossing and yep, my wife, my kids, my nannies, another family was with us and we had lunch. And I think we were there for like 1 hour. Really? It takes an hour for you to dock the boat and unboard and get back on. He said that was the only time. Then it comes out they got pictures of another time he was on the island. Yet America doesn't understand the word accountability. If you're on the Trump campaign, you can do whatever you want. Chile bars Chinese hospital ship from treating locals. Really? Amid U.S. tensions, Chile is barring. Chile. Hmm. Why are they doing that? That is interesting. Over half of Americans say healthcare A weekend long vacation and a new car are unaffordable. Wow. Wow. So that affordability word, Americans, half of Americans say they can't afford health care, they can't go on a week-long vacation, and they can't buy a new car. Yet we blow up Iran. Ericsson completes world's first 6G trial in Texas. Trump launched Iran strikes. That's why Chile came to my mind. Stephanie Vaquer. Anybody know who that is? If you know, you know, the WWE champion. Partial government shutdown starts to hit TSA workers' paychecks. By the way, today is Elimination Chamber Day, so I'm going to be doing a lot of work, and then I'm going to be gone by 4 o'clock my time. I'll be watching pay-per-view. Shout out to Last Legend, won a tag team championship last night. All right. Yes, I am a wrestling fan. I love wrestling. NVIDIA plans new chip to speed AI processing. Okay. Okay. This has my eye. I saw, oh, I cannot remember her name, and I'm looking right at her face. She's another digital educator, and she was talking about the mark of the beast with blockchain. And when I connect the dots here, the US government just invested in what company? What company is that? In NVIDIA. Huh. Who is supporting this current administration that's a multi-billionaire that is not Elon Musk? His name starts with the letter P. What's his name? Uh Peter Thiel? Hmm. And we just saw that NVIDIA is also being tokenized. What platform is being used to tokenize NVIDIA? What's the name? Ondo Finance. Who owns Ondo Finance? Uh, Peter Peter Thiel. There's a fight going on right now with what you guys give me the name of that AI company that is warning the Pentagon not to use their AI for military stuff in the war. Cloud. Yet, NVIDIA's planning a new chip to speed using what? AI, artificial intelligence processing. We connect the dots in Inner Circle Crypto Talk. America First Legal sues Philadelphia over police DEI promotion policy. Let me give another fact here for those that are against DEI and those that are for DEI. I hate to break it to you, but DEI is not what is helping out minorities, meaning people who look like me. Because a lot of people who's against the DEI think that it's helping people who look like me. We represent 4% of the people who use DEI. Do you know who is the vast recipients of DEI policies are? It's not black people. It's not brown people. It's white women. I saw a video where one woman, when she saw the statistic, it blew her mind. She had no idea. And I thought it was, for blacks in African American. Nah. The biggest recipients is you. And you just shot yourself in the foot. Anyway, Sleepy Owl found resting among items on a New York antique store shelf. Sleepy Owl. Okay. Kristi Noem created security vulnerabilities at airports. Family of Renee Good say they have chosen not to watch the video of her shooting. Everybody saw that. Trump warns some Americans may die. Oh my gosh. There's going to be hell to pay in the future. He made a mistake last night. Did you guys see his speech at 2 o'clock in the morning Eastern time? Where he said, yeah, some Americans may die. That's what happens in war. We're not at war. What do you mean, Brandon? We're attacking. Has Congress declared war? Because that's the only time we're at war. Mike Johnson came out and said, oh, yeah, we're going to let Trump do whatever he wants to do. But Congress has not declared war. Most polarizing news. The right is covering Israeli media reports unconfirmed death. Oh, oh my gosh. Unconfirmed death of Iran's supreme leader. This isn't going to play out like Trump thinks. The Iranian people do not like the government. That is true. But by being attacked by who they consider the enemy, they rally behind their government. And if you take out their religious leader, you're going to unite the entire Middle East. Mhm. World War III? President Ramaphosa deploys army to support police in South Africa. Okay, something's going on down there, South Africa. Wow. This is very, very big news. I have to watch for this today. The Iranians were saying he's alive. I don't think the Iranians would admit if even if he was. At least not yet. Not under these circumstances. Because that would be that will project weakness. Okay. How are the markets? Well, we don't know because the market's closed on Friday. We can look at the futures, but let's take a look. In anticipation of what was about to go down, the Dow had dropped 500 points, S&P 500 29, Nasdaq 210. What do you think this is going to be Monday morning? Europe, a little mixed, but Europe already closed before, well before the American markets did. Asia in the green. We're going to see what this looks like in the morning, but what we can see on Monday morning is the crypto markets. All right, let's refresh. What's crypto doing as of today? Down 1% in the last 24 hours. It was 5% last night. Yeah, you're right. People did buy the dip. It was 5% down last night. Bitcoin dominance at 56.1. Ethereum had crossed 10. Now it's back down to 9.9%. Trending. Yeah, Bitcoin had dropped to 63,000 last night. It was at 67. Now it's popped back up to 65,000. Pax Gold, Power Protocol. Let's see, anything else? Bitcoin down 1.3, Ethereum 1.7, BNB's down 1.4. I'm looking at the last hour right now, and I see more green than I do red. Rain is up 3.9% in the last hour. 24 hours. It seems that, yeah, it dropped down last night and bouncing up a little bit. So again, we'll have to see how this looks on Monday morning. Also, we need to pay attention to the death toll in Israel, Iran, and Americans. That's the one thing about America. If we start seeing U.S. draped caskets, all hell is going to break loose. Yeah, also the oil prices. Well, oil, we're not going to see that until Monday. Because oil, and it also depends on Iran, what they do in the Straits. So Monday morning is going to be you don't want to miss crypto talk Monday morning. We're going to have 2 days to see how this plays out. And last I heard was that we're going to have these operations going over the next 4 days, bombings. Okay. Look at the news. First off, I got to get to this. Grant Cardone plans to tokenize his firm's $5 billion real estate portfolio. $5 billion. See, E-Estate has 100 million under management right now. Grant Cardone, 5 billion. Follow the river of money. This guy ran his mouth against crypto worse than Jamie Dimon did. To his credit, he would always say, but I don't know enough about it. To his credit. He said at the most, I have my firm buying crypto assets and just building the portfolio, but I don't know what's going on. I don't understand it, and I don't have any real interest in it. He went from that to, yeah, I'm going to tokenize all of my real estate. Grant Cardone said his firm is preparing to tokenize its $5 billion real estate portfolio. The move follows Cardone Capital's Bitcoin purchase and wider push into digital assets. While property tokenization is gaining traction and projected to grow quickly, regulatory hurdles and thin secondary market liquidity remain a bottleneck. Real estate mogul Grant Cardone preparing to tokenize his firm. Okay, who is he using? I got to speed read this because I have an appointment in 8 minutes. So I got to get through this. The other real estate leaders are exploring similar paths. The Trump Organization, the real estate conglomerate of Donald Trump and his family, is tokenizing loan revenue to a new Maldives resort project. We covered that. The tokenized real estate market remains small. You guys hear that? Let me put this link in the chat box again. You want to get in on something at the beginning. It remains small yet, but projected to grow rapidly over the next decade. Deloitte forecasts that $4 trillion in real estate could be tokenized by 2035, growing 27% annually. That is grossly underestimated. It is going to be far bigger than that. Real estate billionaire Barry Sternlicht is ready to what? Is ready to tokenize assets? That's another. Hold on, hold on. Real estate billionaire Barry is ready to tokenize assets, but he's worried about regulation. The hundred, oh, my head just exploded. Grant Cardone is what, 4 billion? Okay, first, E-Estate 100 million. Grant Cardone, 4 billion. This guy, $125 billion real estate firm, wants to offer blockchain-based tokens to clients. 125 billion. How big do you think E-Estate can get? Barry, whose Starwood Capital manages more than $125 billion in assets, says the firm is ready to tokenize real-world assets but is stymied by U.S. regulatory barriers. Sternlicht argues that tokenizing assets like real estate on blockchains could open new ways to raise capital and give investors access to illiquid markets. Praising the technology as the future, he likens tokenization's development stage to an earlier stage than that of AI and says the world needs to catch up. Oh, documentation. I got to save this article. Okay, I'm running out of time. Let me just look at the headlines here. Middle East explosions and U.S. Iran military escalation rip through Bitcoin's price action. Bitcoin is trading at $63,000 as of 8 a.m., February 28th, clinging to the mid $60,000 after a bruising February drawdown. So this was 5 a.m. my time. So it's come up since then. The narrative grew considerably more fraught as hostilities in the Middle East began commanding international attention. For now, Bitcoin's broader structure remains heavy, and the charts across multiple time frames suggest that rallies continue to face stiff overhead pressure. Okay, then we've got altcoins crumble. Ethereum, XRP, Sol lead losses amid geopolitical tensions. This is why I cover geopolitics. Why? It caused altcoins to crumble. So if you have your head in the sand and don't want to look at no geopolitics because it might challenge your own current political beliefs, you're going to lose money because you're not going to know what's going on and why the markets are doing what they're doing. The cryptocurrency market served as a real-time volatility barometer over the weekend as joint U.S. and Israeli strikes on Iran triggered a sharp sell-off while traditional markets were closed. Okay. Monday morning is going to be big. Bitcoin price drops to 63K as U.S. and Israel bomb Iran. Okay. BRICS nations, Brazil, China, and India dump $144 billion in U.S. treasuries in 1 year. Yeah, that's going to hurt America. Let's see, what is this? Bitcoin's 2026 slide deepens. Bitcoin drops to 65K as 70K level becomes demand vacuum. Bitcoin tumble from 68K to 65K, wiping out recent gains. Wait, what's the time? This is 22 hours ago. This is before the now announcement with Iran. All right, so that's older news. Why yen stablecoins? Now, we just talked about this the other day. I was actually looking at China though, but Japanese yen. Why yen stablecoins are key to Japan's crypto ambitions. Japan's regulators and conglomerates are working to bring one of the world's key funding currencies into DeFi, but retail activity remains muted. I need to save this article, so I want to pull this back up on Monday. I don't want to rush through that. Crypto Biz, a Bitcoin treasury shareholder revolt. Bitcoin treasury companies face investor backlash as stablecoin issuers post strong earnings and legacy payment giants navigate mounting pressure. This is another one I'd want to read more into because this is the whole stablecoin thing. Okay, let me save that one. Tether froze. What? Oh, this is another one I can't speed through this. This is my other concern too. And you guys remind me, we need to look up any stable coins that do not have the ability to freeze tokens. We need to have a list of that. I think we kind of did it before, and I got to go through my notes. I don't remember if I wrote them down. But Tether has the ability to freeze your tokens no matter what wallet is holding the tokens and tokens tied to illicit activity in 3 years. Tether blocked billions in USDT tied to scams and laundering cases as authorities increasingly rely on stablecoin issuers to halt suspicious funds. So Tether's been doing that. Now you might think, isn't that a good thing? Well, on that case, yes. But the fact that they have the ability to do it, what if they don't like you for whatever reason and decide to freeze your wallet? Hmm. Tether helps governments freeze funds. That's a problem. So that's one thing I will not be using Tether to hold my stable coins. USDT supply shrinks. Yeah, we covered that. All right, that is it for Crypto Talk. I hope you learned something. That's not just Crypto Talk. This is the ILCA Saturday presentation with giving you a little bit insight on what we do in Crypto Talk. So come Monday morning, I can't wait for Monday morning. So what's happening next? I don't do any other broadcasts for the rest of the day. I'm also going to be celebrating. Today is my parents' 50th anniversary, 50 years. So I'll be celebrating that today. I'm going to be watching Elimination Chamber and finishing up to release some of our stablecoin courses. And then tomorrow we'll be sending out an email tonight for those of you that are qualifying for the five-figure club call. That's going to take place tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll have the link. And if you do not receive an email, make sure you send us a message and we'll make sure you get it for those that qualify. What's the qualification again? Because you have from now till tomorrow to do it. You need to at least be in the inner circle, and you need to have at least $1,000 worth of tokenized assets, either personally or through your agent organization. So even if you say, well, personally, I only got $100 worth, but you have agents that have 10, 50, 100, and it adds up to 1,000, then you qualify as well. Yes, Miss Casa.
Sorry to interrupt. I know you have something to get to right now. Just a quick question that I received from a couple of people, didn't know how to answer it regarding the five-figure club. Okay, so the question is basically this. If they do not have the $1,000 before our first meeting, are they completely cut out or can they get in at any time?
Great question. They can get in at any time. So that is a club that's going to continue to grow. It is not you're locked out and you can never get in. So if you get it next week, the week after, you'll be able to get in. And I'm recording these meetings too. So if you missed this first one because you didn't qualify, by the time you do, you'll be able to see the recording of it. All right, I got to run. I got a meeting in 1 minute. With that, hope you learned something new. As always, that's the point. I look forward to working with those of you who are joining us. Join the inner circle if you haven't done so yet. And I didn't even have enough time to talk about the coaches, but we'll do that next time. Take care, everybody. Brandon Ivey out. Bye bye.